Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Connection with Intention. I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com, and I'm so incredibly grateful that you're here to join me this evening. I was just talking with my neighbor, which is why we didn't have the credits rolling. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. It's time to go live, and I didn't have time to set it up. So we're here. So we've got lots to talk about this evening. The energy has been wild and intense. And I don't know about you, but I personally have been absolutely exhausted. And it's not even just been this week or last week, it feels like it's been forever. But my expectation is that that's going to start to shift and change over the next week or so. So, right now, we are in the Lion's Gate portal. It's at its peak tomorrow, which is August the 8th. And it's something that happens every year. And I wanted to include something that was a little more succinct than what I could personally share. So made this little graphic, and I will admit ChatGPT helped me with it a smidge. Oops, hold on. There we go. So, the Lion's Gate portal is a powerful energetic gateway that peaks each year on August 8th when the sun in Leo aligns with the star Sirius and the Orion constellation, which is what you can see down in the left hand corner there. The numerology of 8/8, so August 8th, August being the 8th month, it amplifies themes of abundance, transformation, and spiritual awakening. It's a time for manifesting desires, activating higher consciousness, and aligning with your soul's purpose. So this is also a time when things are coming up to the surface. What isn't serving you, what isn't supporting you, what isn't in alignment with your soul's purpose. All of these things are coming up to be released. As a time of transformation, it makes a lot of sense if you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or a little more emotional than usual or tired, as I know I am. So there are a lot of things that are happening energetically. On top of that, we've also got the Perseids meteor showers happening now, and they'll be peaking later next week. I think it's either August 11th, 12th, or the 12th, 13th, somewhere in there. So if you're able to, it's always amazing to get out and check out the meteor showers. Find a place where there isn't a lot of light pollution, preferably on an evening when it's not too cloudy and overcast so that you can watch the stars. And I know that in the past when I've gone out, I've seen up to 100 shooting stars throughout the course of a couple of hours. So it's a really amazing event if you can connect with it. Coming back to the Lion's Gate portal, there's also some angelic connection that comes up with this as well. So I'm going to leave this up for a moment as we're continuing to talk. We actually have an archangel who is very strongly connected, not only with the energy of lion, and when she appears, she will often appear with a half head. No, sorry. The upper half of her body has been replaced with a lion's head. It's not half of a it's not half of a head. It's the upper half of a lion's head. And it's Archangel Ariel who pops up with that. Let me just take this down. And so I pulled out the Archangel Ariel cards because they also really connect and vibe with the Lion's Gate portal. So the first one that we have is courage. Archangel Ariel helps and supports us in being courageous and standing up for ourselves, standing up for our beliefs, and standing up for our truth. Archangel Ariel also helps and supports with abundance and prosperity, helping to make sure that our financial, monetary, and material needs are being taken care of and being supported. And she also connects with us through our passion and the things that we enjoy doing, the things that we are inspired by. So she really helps us to connect with all of those energies. And I love connecting and working with Archangel Ariel because if she had ego, remembering, of course, that angels don't have ego, but if she did, Archangel Ariel would be the girlfriend who always has your back. And she'd be the one that you could go to and you say, "Hey, so I've got this body." And she's like, "I've got you, girl. I've got shovels in the trunk and a tarp, and I know where to go." Like, that's her energy and her vibe. So she helps us to move through and to overcome obstacles and challenges and helps us to come into our authentic selves. So over the next couple of days, it's August the 7th today, over the next couple of days, the energy of the Lionsgate portal is really strong. So take a bit of time to reflect upon what you're wanting to focus on. Where do you want to put your intentions? What is important to you? Where has your energy been seeping out? And where could you pull it back in to be more in alignment with the things that you're passionate about, the things that you want to do, that you want to see, to experience while you're here in this human form? The next kind of interesting thing that we have going on is the next night on August the 9th is the full moon. So the full moon in and of itself is always lots of powerful energy. When the moon is full, it's illuminating things that are usually in darkness. So it's helping us to bring to the surface, to understand, to recognize what's no longer serving us and what may be standing in our way. So we have these two incredibly powerful and potent energies happening basically simultaneously that are really unearthing, bringing to the forefront things that are ready to be released so that we can create and we can transform and we can manifest. And again, this is all about coming back into your heart's desires, the things that you're most passionate about, your soul's purpose, connecting with your higher self. So, your spirituality, your intuition, your psychic ability. This is a wonderful time to move into a meditative practice. It's a wonderful time to go to the water source near you, whether it's the ocean or fresh water in the form of lake or river. Now is a wonderful time to be getting out, to be releasing, clearing, letting go, while also setting intention and coming up with plan and allowing yourself to move forward. This isn't a time where we're wanting to push or force. This is a time when things are starting to connect, where there's a greater sense of flow. So if there's something that you've been wanting to create, but you're finding that you don't have the energy for it and you just feel like you are continuously stopped, or it feels like you're moving through molasses, now is a really great time to take a step back and review. Is this actually in alignment with my soul's purpose, with what I'm wanting to be doing, with what I'm passionate about? Are there things that are maybe kind of niggling for me that are saying, hey, maybe this isn't the right thing? Maybe right now it's not the right thing, or maybe overall it's something that we need to tweak. Maybe I am pushing against something that isn't ready to be shifted yet. Or maybe there's something in myself that's holding me back. And this is a wonderful opportunity to take a look into that, to take a deeper look. Do I have belief systems that are holding me back from this? I want to do this thing, but there's some part of me that's saying, you can't do that. Now is a wonderful time to allow yourself to come into acknowledgement that's there, and then to sit with and to find help and support to move through. So whether that's talking with friends and families and people that you trust, a counselor, working with another professional, an energy practitioner, intuitive or psychic, there are so many different areas and avenues that we can receive help and support as we're going through this transformation. Now is a wonderful time to connect with those resources. Okay, I want to pop over to the comments, to the chats, and just take a look. One thing that I didn't mention, and I don't have it along the bottom, please hold on to your questions for a little bit until we come to after the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. Drew, it is so good to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. Ishika, hi, it's great to see you. Shelly, hello. Thanks for joining us. Oh, wonderful. Tracy's saying hello and glad to hear of the shift. Yeah, things are starting to shift. Don't be surprised if over the next couple of days, if you have been having or experiencing low energy, don't be surprised if it hasn't shifted yet, but I'd expect in the next short little while that will start to change. Pat, hello. It's great to see you. And Margaret, hi. Sarah saying hello to everyone. Thank you so much for supporting community. I love that. Debbie, hello. It's great to see you. Yes, and Debbie saying the Lion's Gate followed by the full moon the next day. It's such a powerful time right now. Hello to Tracy and Maxine. And Maxine saying, I sure hope this portal provides what it says. Yeah, absolutely. But also remembering that this is an opportunity that we need to make sure that we're active in. So be an active participant and allow yourself to move with the energy of the portal. um, Ishika, we'll come back to questions in a minute. We'll wait a little bit longer, but please ask it later once it's open. Stacy, it's wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining us. And I love the sunflower that you've shared. Sunflower was coming up in readings, one today and one like last week. So I love seeing the sunflower. Brooks, it's wonderful to see to connect with you. And I'm just going to ask or take a quick look at the question that you've asked because it's specific to manifesting. Is tomorrow a good day to manifest connection with a potential partner? Yeah, absolutely, it can. And overall, in general, please come back and like ask once I open it up to questions for readings. We're not quite there yet, but in general, yes, absolutely. Tomorrow would be a wonderful time to manifest in partnership and relationship, as well as work and career and all sorts of different things. One of the things to be aware of is when you're manifesting around relationship, unless you're in a solid existing relationship, I wouldn't focus on manifesting specific relationship with a specific person. Just because you could be wanting to manifest a relationship with different experiences, and that might not be available with the person that you're wanting to manifest it with. So the best way to do that is to not put a name or a face on the manifestation work that you're doing, but to focus on the overall relationship experience that you're wanting to have. From there, universe is like, yeah, this connection that you've been working on, that you've been building, this is the connection, and we're going to build and amplify it. Or it could say, hey, like what you're asking for and where this person is, what this person can bring, they just aren't aligning. And so it can help to move a relationship aside in order to bring the relationship you're actually wanting to manifest. So if you're early in relationship, or if you aren't like really solid and steady with a person, don't tie it to a specific person to manifest. But we'll come back to your question. Ask it in a moment. Awesome, Linda. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that you're here tonight too. And Pamela, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Susan, hello. Thank you for joining us. And I'm so glad that you like the backdrop. I flip-flopped on being outside tonight. I'm like, nope, while the weather's still nice, we need to be outside. Awesome. So let's move to the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. And let me see if I can bring that up for us. Haha. So this allows everybody to receive a reading for the evening. So take a moment and see if you have any questions that you'd like to connect with this evening. You can do one or you can do as many as you would like. And what you'll do is think about your question, connect with your guides, God, source, universe, angels, ascended masters, whoever, whatever you choose to work with, whatever feels best and right for you. And ask which crystal, which card that's connected to the crystal best supports the answer that I need to hear about this question. So another general question you could ask is, what do I need to know right now? And that's really open. What do I need to know about the Lionsgate portal? What do I need to know about the energy that's happening right now? There are so many different questions that you can ask. And once you have your question, breathe. and ask, is the card that I need to know, is it connected to obsidian? Is it connected to rose quartz? Or is it connected to clear quartz? So I'm hoping that everybody's had a chance to ask their question. So again, we have obsidian, rose quartz, and clear quartz. Here we go. So if you chose obsidian, the card that's coming up for you this evening, I hope you guys can see it, is the Clairsentience card. This is Archangel Raguel, and his message is, notice your recurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So when this card comes up, it's saying, hey, like, pay attention to the feelings that are coming up for you. Clairsentience is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information, and it literally means clear feeling. So when this card comes up, it says, hey, like, you're already getting lots of information, lots of intuition around the question, around the situation that you've been asking about. And something's telling you either like, yes, this is right, or no, this doesn't feel right, or maybe we're kind of in a neutral place. Different ways that you can connect with clairsentience. First of all, it connects to physical sensation in the body. So it can be like goosebumps, getting goosebumps, that gut feeling, that kind of falling in the pit of your stomach is a form of clairsentience. And it can also talk about emotion. So um, feeling and experiencing heavy, big emotion, picking up on other people's emotions, finding your emotions changing, even though there doesn't seem to be a direct trigger. All of these are different aspects of clairsentience. And if you asked, like, a general, what do I need to know, or what do I need to work on, or what's coming up for me around the Lion's Gate, connecting with your intuition, particularly through clairsentience, is really significant and important for you right now. And again, the archangel that's connected with this message is Archangel Raguel, and his name is spelled Raguel. And I talk about the angels as masculine and feminine. They actually don't have genders, but it's easier to connect with them in that way. All right. So the next card that we had was, no, it wasn't clear quartz. It was rose quartz. It was in the middle. And if you chose rose quartz, that's really interesting. The card that's come up for you is Archangel Uriel's card, and it's the claircognizance card. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So again, claircognizance is another form of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. Claircognizance means clear knowing. So this is where thoughts and ideas pop into your head. This is maybe a bit of a dated reference, but let's say that your phone rings and you weren't expecting a phone call, and you know who it is on the other end. Like, oh man, that's weird. I bet that's so and so calling. Or thinking about somebody and then they reach out to you the next day. I had an experience years ago. I was driving along, and this guy that I went to elementary and high school with kept popping into my head. And later that night, and we haven't had contact with each other since we graduated from high school, basically, which was a couple of years ago. And I got home that night, and we're friends on Facebook, and I checked, and it was his birthday, and that was why he had been popping into my head. So that's a form of claircognizance, where thoughts and ideas are just popping into your head. And those are forms of intuition. They're forms of psychic ability. So if this has come up for you, then what this card is saying is there are thoughts and ideas that are coming to you about the situation, and it's important to trust that. Also, I find it really interesting that this is now the second intuitive message. So if you asked a general question like, what do I need to focus on right now? How can I best utilize the energy of the Lion's Gate? Where do I need to put my energy and my attention? Connecting with your intuition overall is the message for you if you've chosen rose quartz, and particularly with claircognizance. So paying attention to those thoughts and ideas that pop into your head. And if people are interested, towards the end this evening, I'll talk about a couple of different ways that you can do that to connect with clairsentience and claircognizance. All right. And our last card for the evening is the clear quartz card this time. Oh my gosh. I wondered if it was gonna be one of these guys, and it's the clairvoyance card. So this is Archangel Raziel, and his message is, "I am helping you with your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love." Again, clairvoyance is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. So I'm gonna step back for just a moment before we go any further with this. It is very clear that over the next several days, all of us are meant to be paying attention to working on recognizing our intuition, because this card deck has 45 cards in it. I've pulled 3 cards, and of those 3 cards, they are all intuitive messages cards. There are literally only 4 cards in this deck that do that. So that is really significant. Intuition is on fire right now, my friends. So, with clairvoyance in particular, clairvoyance is literally clear sight or clear seeing, and it's a visual representation of messages. And we can experience clairvoyance in many different ways. Some people physically see things in front of them. Other people will see things in their mind's eye. Some people will see numbers, the repeating numbers, angel numbers, over and over and over again. Those are all different forms of clairvoyance. Any message that has a visual context and connection to it is clairvoyance. So pay attention to that. In terms of the question that you've asked, make sure that you're paying attention to everything that is being presented to you. So seeing everything. And one of the things that's popping up for me, it's not necessarily specifically connected with it, but I'm really being drawn to the energy of the full moon with bringing light. So being able to see things that are usually in darkness, and the connection with clairvoyance. So in addition to connecting with Archangel Raziel, who supports with clairvoyance, because of that moon connection, I'm wanting to encourage people who've chosen this card to also connect with Archangel Haniel, who helps and supports with intuition in general, but also is really strongly connected with the energy of the moon. So if you asked a general question like, what do I need to know? What do I need to focus on? Clairvoyance is where you need to put your energy right now. Awesome. I'm just going to say hello to a couple of people. Hello to Dennis. It's great to see you. Pamela, it's great to see you too. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hi from Tatiana and Carrie. Hola. It's so good to see you. And Alyssa. Oh, I know that we've spoken before. I'm so sorry for not saying your name properly. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, now, if you have questions that you would like to ask, now is a wonderful time to ask them. And hello to Stephen. It's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We just had the card, the breathe card with Archangel Raphael pop out. I'm going to take that as a personal message because I've been sitting here talking so much, barely taking a breath. But that's also a message for all of us as well. So make sure that you're taking time to slow down, to breathe, to balance. Wonderful. Good vibes. Okay, thanks for asking a question. Oh, and also, I'm going to say really quickly, everybody else has been here before, so that's awesome. If you ask a specific question, so give me an area in your life. What do I need to know about X area? I don't do general questions, and I don't do, can you pull a card for me? Because there are lots of different people who will pull cards, but I want something that I can really sink my teeth into. So please ask a specific question. Okay, good vibes. What does my love life show this summer or fall? I've been really trying to focus on personal growth. Awesome. First of all, I want to celebrate that with you. That's amazing. Um, when I ask about love life over the next little bit, summer and into fall, um, it feels like there's a lot of pushing that you've been doing, and I'm wanting to kind of sit back a little bit and relax and allow things to flow. And I feel like I'm wanting to encourage, rather than being like this and making things happen and things, sitting back and allowing to happen with a knowing that partnership and relationship is coming, is manifesting. um, I feel like there's already partner and relationship of some sort. So I'm wanting to say improving, that there's an aspect that's improving. And so I want to speak for a moment to the work that you've been doing, and I feel like we're trusting the process, that what you have been doing is going to come to fruition. The seeds that you've planted are coming to harvest, where shifts are happening, but it feels like you've done the work, and now it's time to sit back a bit and allow all of that to come to. There's a card in the Angel Oracle card deck, and it's the Patience card. And basically, it's this angel, and she's watering her garden. And there are so many things that are really good for a garden, and water is one of them. And if I give it lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water, then it's going to grow. But there is such a thing as too much water. So patience can also be allowing everything that you have already worked on to come to fruition and to rest and allow it to do its thing. And it feels like that's part of the energy that we're shifting into. So what I'm wanting to encourage for you is actually some play and some fun and connecting within community, connecting with nature. I'm really wanting to encourage a bit of socialization as well, because it feels like that's part of what helps to bring things all together. So whether there's a current relationship right now, or whether we're inviting new relationship in, it feels like it's time to put energy into other things that you really enjoy. I do have something that feels like it's popping up as we move into September. So if there is a current relationship, it feels like, oh, we're on solid ground again, and like things are moving along well. And if we're manifesting or inviting in new relationship, I've got a bit of opening energy that feels like it's coming up. So as we move into mid-September, I'm really wanting to encourage you to be doing things that are social and socializing. So the card that we've chosen for you this evening is the Angel Therapy card. This is Archangel Raphael. His message is, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So it's basically saying, hey, like, we see that you're worried. We see maybe that you're struggling a little bit, that you're thinking about things a lot. And they're saying, like, hey, like, don't worry about it. We've got your back. Give it over to us. One of the exercises that I love to do for myself when things are feeling really big and overwhelming, I like to sit down and talk to my angels. And I talk to them about all of the things that are bothering me, all of the things that I'm worried about, all of the things that feel like they're creating resistance when I feel like I'm hitting my head against the wall. And I talk to them as if they are my best friend. And because if I'm talking to my best friend, I can tell them anything without any sort of judgment. And I talk to them as if they're in a position to do something about it, because they are. So if I'm talking to my best friend about my challenges and my worries, like it could be a venting, it could be, like I'm feeling really frustrated and I just want to get it off my chest. But when I'm talking to the angels, it's like, hey, here are some powerful beings that can actually make change happen. And that's how I'm going to approach it. And allow yourself to just free flow talk with them. I usually cry a lot. It's ugly, but it works. And always I feel better after. And always within a couple of days, things start shifting. So if there's anything that you are holding on to that's worry about finding or worry about change happening, talk to your angels. Good vibes. It's always such a pleasure connecting with you. I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome, Shelly. Let's take a look. I know that you asked before I gave my stipulation, so let's just see what general messages are popping up for Shelly. Take time. There's a song that's coming in that I don't know it well enough. The only thing that I'm hearing is like, take time. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It's a good thing that I'm not a singer, because that would be pretty awful. Yeah, I want to encourage you. Oh, sorry. the next door cat just went into my house and left the door wide open, and these birds looked like they were about to fly into my house. We're okay, but that's what just happened. Um, I'm also noticing that was a distraction in the middle of Shelley's reading. So if you're finding that you are distracted, it's because you're trying to focus on different things, too many things. Take time to focus on whatever area in your life you're working on. Give it some time and give it some energy and some attention. Let's just see what's popping up for you, Shelley. The outdoors card. This is Archangel Jophiel. This feels like this makes a lot of sense. Go outside, get some fresh air, connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. I love the creative aspect that comes up with this card for you as well, because I do want to encourage you to take a look at creative projects. Creative projects can be a lot of different things, but I feel like there's a desire to kind of like stretch the mind, stretch the heart, stretch the sacral, and just see what we can come up with. I'm so glad that you joined us this evening, Shelley. Thank you so much for popping on. Okay, so we've got Linda here. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining us. Linda says, I love everything. Water sign. Absolutely. Can you tell me when we will find our forever boat? And if you see where we will acquire it? Yeah, let's take a look. So I'm asking about this year, and it feels like I'm seeing things being kind of up and down and kind of wavy. So I don't think that we've got anything that's coming up within like the next 6 months. And so I move forward into 2026. I have a couple of possibilities that are popping up in the spring, early spring, like February, March, early April. And so it feels like we've got a couple of possibilities that are coming up at that point. I'm wanting to go and check them out. I do feel like you're traveling. I'm just wondering where you're going. I am feeling going south. So I'm wondering if this is possibly in the States or possibly further south. It does feel like you're on this side of the world, so the American continents. But I'm not seeing specifically where it is. It doesn't feel like it's here in BC. It does feel like it could be along the coast as you head down Washington, Oregon, California, and even possibly down a little bit further. That's actually where I'm wanting to go. I'm wanting to go a little bit further than California. So kind of into like the neck. That's kind of where I'm seeing. So as I said, I don't feel like it's coming to the forefront this year in 2025, but I have some pretty strong vibes that are coming up kind of early in 2026. It feels like there are a lot of potentials. And so like I see being able to check out several boats that feel like they're really close. I'm not sure if you're finding the one, but you're getting really close. Let's see, we're going to go to the mermaids and dolphins because of course water and boats and also manifestation. And we're just going to ask, what does Linda need to know about finding their forever boat? Dream big. So like manifestation. So use the next several days for sure and manifest exactly what it is that you're looking for in your boat, what it looks like, what it feels like, the things that you're able to do, the places you're able to go, the experiences you're able to have. Focus on those things. Let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. So let go of small thoughts about what you can find, what the options are, what the potentials are, and see yourself being successful in finding the boat that is your forever boat. Linda, it's always such a pleasure connecting with you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and boat support your way. Carmen, hello. It's so good to see you. Okay, Debbie's asking, is there a big purchase coming from moi? Okay. Yes, like I didn't even have a chance to finish asking the question, and I get this big yes. And, and actually it's a really exuberant yes. If I could back up further, I would show you like the kicking that I'm seeing and the excitement that I'm seeing. So yes, there is big purchase that's coming for you, and it is what you are expecting. Because I realized that big purchase can be a lot of different things. I immediately went into home of some sort, but I mean, big purchase could be a vehicle, or it could be a trip, or lots of different things. So I am seeing yes. And I'm hearing that it's fitting the criteria that you have for it as well. So there's a lot of excitement, and I feel like we're looking at this within kind of the next couple of weeks. So that tells me that likely you already know what or where it is that you are wanting to purchase, and it's just a matter of, are things going to go through? And again, like, I have this sense of, yes, it is here, it is, oops, it is happening, and we're going. We're going to go to the mermaids and dolphins for you as well, Debbie, and just see, what do you need to know about the purchase that's coming up? uh, Break free. Okay, so this is a really interesting card to come up for this question. Try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. So, one of the things that I'm seeing with this, first of all, I'm wanting to talk about freedom, that whatever this purchase is going to allow a certain amount of freedom. Breaking out of, it's hard to see with the lighting here, but breaking out of darkness, moving into something that's feeling light, where it feels like we've got lots of opportunities. It feels like we're exploring and experiencing new things. And I'm wanting to talk about adventure as well, that there's some aspect of adventure that's coming up with this purchase too. Even if it's something that's very stationary, it can still be something that's having a really significant shift and impact in our lives. Also, with this break free message, making sure that your mind isn't holding you back from the new experiences that you're wanting to create. So, recognizing that our minds are really powerful parts of creation and manifestation. And if we have doubt, it's more difficult to create that. So, make sure that when you're thinking about this, when you're speaking about this purchase, that you're doing so in a positive way, with the expectation that it's already happened, that it's coming together, it's already done. There's not even a question about it anymore. So approach it with a sense of fun. Debbie, I'm so grateful that you joined us. Thank you so much for hopping on. Sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and abundance your way. Ishika, thank you so much for checking in and connecting. Ishika saying, as I am in my job hunting process, do you see me landing a job at any of these companies? Okay, so we've got FI Money, Jupiter Money, Coinbase, or Google. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to ask about each of them. Google, they're kind of showing me this. So no on Google. Coinbase, I feel like a flip flop. Jupiter Money, it feels like a flip flop. And FI Money, I feel like a no. So then Jupiter Money, Coinbase, what are we doing? How are we feeling? I feel like there could be offers that are coming from both of them. Jupiter Money, I have a lot of excitement and energy that's coming up around it. Like, I feel like we can get things going and we've got some excitement that's happening. So it feels like not only are there opportunities there right now, but I'm also seeing that there's opportunity for growth, development, and advancement too. And that feels exciting. That feels like that's coming up not only from the overall like corporate structure, but also the growth that they're looking at and expecting over the next several years, and also how they are approaching employees and people who work with them. So I'm feeling a fair amount of empowerment that's coming up with that too. So the only one that I kind of flip flop on applying for directly is Google, because that one immediately, as soon as I read it, I got like this X. So I'm not sure if it's because there's a lot of shift and change or if it just isn't going to work, but I'm not feeling drawn to that one as much. But I do want to encourage you to apply to the other three that you've mentioned as well. But Jupiter Money feels like there's lots that's shifting and changing and lots of opportunity that's coming up there. And that feels like that's really exciting. Let's just see. Let's just ask if there's, oh, Charlie the cat has just jumped up. I just want to make sure that she doesn't get caught up in our cords. Okay. Um, so we're just going to ask if there are any messages that are coming up for Ishika around the job hunting process. Um, Interestingly, the card that we have here is wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. So when this card comes up, it usually comes up not because we are like heading in the wrong direction or we're not thinking about things, we're not approaching things as we need to. Oh, Charlie. hold on. You can't be up here. Talk about distractions. I'm so sorry about that, Ishika. Your card also just fell on the ground. My apologies. Um, this weight card comes up because there's information that hasn't come to the surface yet. So it could be that there are outside influences, other influences that still need to come into play before you have all of the information that you need in order to make an informed choice. So don't push and force right now, but now is a really wonderful time to focus on some of that manifestation energy. So what is it that I want to do and experience in this next job? What types of things do I want to be able to work towards, move towards? What do I want to experience in my personal life as I'm moving into this new job, into this new aspect of my career? 5 years from now, what kinds of opportunities do I hope will be available to me? And how do I want to feel as I'm going through all of this? And I'm hearing really wanting to focus on like a healthy workplace and respect and compensation that is truly compensating for the time, the energy, and the work that you're putting into the job that you're doing. So lots of things that you're able to do to help shift and mold this new experience is coming up. Ishika, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and job abundant support your way. Tracy, hello. It's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. Tracy is asking, what is next for me in my spiritual awakening? That's a really great question. So I've got lots that's coming up around heart. I also, as I was reading what you were asking, I was seeing you sleeping. So I feel like there's a lot that's coming up around dream time, connection, communication, loved ones on the other side. It feels like we're also opening doors. How is this opening of doors working? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can describe what I'm seeing without getting too woo-woo. But kind of what I'm seeing is you're folding in on realities. So as you're healing, as you're kind of taking these steps forward, things that used to be big and they're just kind of folding in on themselves and they're just no longer a challenge or an issue anymore. I don't know that I've explained that properly, but it's like if you look at the challenges and the experiences that you've had as steps that you're walking towards, it's kind of like as you move to the next step, the step that you were just on, it just kind of falls off. And then the next one just kind of falls off. And the next one just kind of falls off. And it feels like as you are moving up in this spiritual awakening, those other things just become kind of inconsequential. Yes, they're part of you. Yes, they're part of what brought you to this point. But I don't see you like going over things that happened in the past and questioning. It's like, nope, I've moved forward and boom, that just isn't there anymore. So though not necessarily specifically related to spiritual awakening, it feels like it's really significant in terms of the healing that you're doing, which is allowing for that spiritual awakening that's happening. I have, again, dreams are coming up. I have a lot that's coming up on a visual level. I realize that the majority of the messages that I've just shared with you have been all visually based. There are a couple of ideas, so clear cognizance that pop in there, but everything that or the majority of the messages that came up have been clairvoyant. It would be interesting to know. I won't say which one it was in case you want to go back and to take a look, but it would be really interesting to see if you go back and watch the earlier part of the live and did the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. It would be interesting to see which crystal you chose and which message you chose, because all three of them tonight were about intuition. And I suspect that you would choose the clairvoyant one because that feels like that's coming to the forefront. I've got a lot that's coming up around some form of like drawing, creating, designing. That feels like that's coming to the forefront too. So there is definitely lots that's happening and it feels like it's not as heavy. as perhaps it has been in the past for you. Usually for a question like this, we'd go to the angels, but it's the mermaids and dolphins that are popping up for me. So that also says that the next steps are going to be full of fun and play, that those are aspects that are important and possibly kind of like the key to allowing this stuff to kind of fall off, to kind of collapse on itself, is shifting into a playful mindset around it. Um, the card that we have here is the Simplify Your Life card. And I mean, that's kind of what's happening is the overall human experience is being simplified for you. Eliminate clutter from your home and work life to balance the flow of activities. I mean, for me, this clutter kind of speaks more to the stuff that you've experienced in the past. So come into a place of healing and then allow it to move on, to no longer be held in your body physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. So I'm seeing peace. It's coming up. Tracy, it's always such a pleasure connecting with you. I'm so grateful that you hopped on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and spiritual and angelic awakening. Awesome. Susan, hello. Thank you for joining us. Susan's wondering whether I'll be in a committed relationship. Okay, so I'm just going to clarify. It feels like you're asking about romantic partnership relationship. What do we have? Yes. Yes, but this is what I'm feeling. Yes, it is coming. What is the but? The but is that it feels like it's taking a little while. I feel like we're kind of ping-ponging. Like if I look at a timeline with us being here and this being the future, and I ask when, I feel like we're kind of ping-ponging all over the place. And interestingly, we're kind of going back too. So because we've got a ping pong in the back, I'm wanting to check in and to ask if there is a romantic partnership relationship from the past that one or both of you is still kind of holding on. Because if there's anything that's left over from something in the past, it's time to like say, hey, nope, this is done. This is over. It's not my thing anymore. The other aspect to that is uh, the thoughts, the ideas, the baggage that comes from being in romantic partnership and relationship. And so sometimes, and I hear this from a lot of women, oh, yeah, all men are all the same. They're all this, that, and the other thing. If there is any part of you that's going through conversations like that or thoughts and beliefs like that, that could be part of the reason that we're ping-ponging, because what that actually does is it closes the door. It closes the option and the opportunity. So if you are truly wanting committed romantic partnership in your life, that is the piece that needs to change the way that you think and speak about what relationship can be. What else do we have coming up? And I have a little bit of nervousness that's coming up around this too. So even though the question feels like you're ready, and I do see that there is a big part of you that is ready, I've got some stuff that's coming up in my heart. I've got some stuff that's coming up in my stomach that's saying, I'm not entirely sure, actually, that I am ready, or that I do want this. So again, that's kind of saying maybe there's a little bit of healing that can be done there, but I'm seeing a hand being reached out to you to be held. So there is a partner. There is a partner who is out there who feels like he is actively. I'm sorry. I'm going to say he. It does feel like there is a partner who's actively out there looking for you and literally is holding their hand out, kind of waiting for you. One of the things that I appreciate about this hand is it feels like it's really steady, stable, and consistent. So like this ping-ponging that I had coming up, suddenly it just kind of calms down. So if this ping-ponging is representing like uncertainty and back and forth, it just this hand just calms it down, just brings it down. It's okay. You're worried about this thing? No problem. We'll work on it together. you're holding on to this stuff, or this is triggering for you, it flares up for you, no problem. We've got this. We're together on this. So I love the level of connection and partnership that is coming up for you. So yes, there is relationship and partnership, committed partnership that is coming. Um, I have question around the timing, mostly because it feels like there are a couple of tweaks still that are happening in how you're feeling and seeing relationship possibility and opportunity. So if it helps, oh, that's such a cool idea. Um, if it helps, write out what may seem like fantasy, but what is what you are wanting. So write the story of how you meet your person. And maybe there are a couple of different ways. Maybe you bump into each other at the grocery store. Maybe you um, uh, maybe there's a mistake and you're at the same place at the same time, but neither of you are supposed to be there. But woo, so kind of like the movie Meet Cutes. Write the story about how you meet, and then write the story about how your relationship progresses and how the two of you work well together and support each other and encourage each other, and things are simple and easy. Because what that does is it's allowing your imagination to go. And because it's something that is quote unquote fictitious, then it kind of bypasses ego, but it opens up the possibility and the opportunity. So be playful and invite in a new experience in partnership and relationship, one that is worthy of you. Susan, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and romance angels your way. Awesome. Rhonda, if you want to ask a specific question, I would so love to connect with you. If there's any guidance, if you want to ask a specific question, I'd love to connect and see what's popping up. Awesome. Margaret, hello. Thanks for joining us. Building staff found no leak behind my wall and claim the noise is from the expansion and contraction of the pipes. Interesting. Huh. Is there anything I can do before they seal my wall, and how will things unfold? Interesting. Okay. Well, one, that sounds and feels like that's a big relief. The only thing that kind of pops up for me, if it's that, would be some form of like insulation to kind of muffle the sound of the expansion and the contraction that's happening. Um, what you might want to do from an energetic level and an energetic perspective is see the pipe. I want to make sure that's right. Yes. See the pipe being in a tube of golden light, and seeing it not only like balancing, stabilizing it, but also muffling the sound. And you can see it going through your wall and into the pipe that goes above your apartment, and any of the pipe that extends down below your apartment as well. And just see it being stabilized so that um, expansion is, so that the noise isn't something that's affecting you. Um, what else is popping up around that? I'm really grateful that there isn't a leak or there isn't more that's happening there. That feels like that's a wonderful thing. Um, what else? I'm just asking because there's an angel that's helping and supporting with that, and I'm just asking for his name. I think it's Raguel who's popping up, who's saying that he will help and support with muffling that sound, muffling that noise, just so that it doesn't so it's not annoying or impacting you. And again, sending the gold light, down through feels like that's helpful. And it's interesting. I just kind of noticed the card that is on the bottom of the deck here, that it's gold. And so this is going to be the card for you this evening. It's a prosperity card. We have Archangel Ariel, who, again, we spoke about earlier this evening in connection to the Lionsgate portal. Ariel says your material needs are provided for as you follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. I mean, this feels like this is not only supportive in terms of everything that's happening with the building and the pipes, but also anything else that you might be working on, especially anything from a monetary financial point of view, the experiences that you're wanting to have in this life, in this time, anything that might be coming up around work, business, and career. So know that Archangel Ariel is helping and supporting you in manifesting that, and really take advantage of the time that we're in right now too. Margaret, I'm so incredibly relieved to hear that there isn't a leak in that pipe, and that everything is okay. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and lots of gratitude for joining us this evening. Thank you so much for popping on. Pamela, hi Pamela, it's great to see you. Let me see. So Pamela's saying that she is a Leo. Hi, I'm a Leo too. I think we're pretty awesome. Would like to know if the time is right to head back to school in the fall. Yeah. Um, yeah, I have full steam ahead that's popping up. Um, I have a lot of excitement that's there. I have a lot of building that's there. There is part of me that's going into what feels like it's kind of, mm, I don't want to call it story, because what's coming up is legitimate. But I'm feeling like there's some juggling that needs to happen in order for this to come to fruition. It feels like there's possibly a little bit of planning that needs to be done that could be helpful. Like planning, it feels like it's related to scheduling and like food and meal prep and kind of the basic day-to-day things. And it feels like that is the part that's kind of holding you back a bit. Otherwise, it feels like the timing is really great for back to school for you. I'm feeling you feeling engaged in the courses and classes that you're wanting to take. I'm feeling you being invested in what you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to build, and what you want to create. So it does feel like the timing is right. It's just these other things, day-to-day little nitpicky things that feel like they're kind of throwing you off track a little bit. So, if that's the case, take a bit of time over the next week or 2 weeks and come up with a plan. It doesn't have to be like a plan that doesn't change, that can't grow and evolve as you grow and evolve as you're going back to school. But come up with a plan. What does it look like to make sure that there is healthy food and healthy meals? What does it look like to make sure that schedule works around your schooling schedule and any other responsibilities that you have as well? I'm seeing that there are a lot of solutions and answers that are available. It feels like there's help and support that's available to you as well. So, for example, if you're responsible for other people, it feels like there's help and support in that responsibility. Same with work. It feels like there's opportunity that's there as well. It's just a matter of figuring out what it is that you need so that you can ask for it so that it can be provided to you. Let's take a look. We're going to the Mermaids and Dolphins card, and I'm just, sorry, there was a big creepy crawly on me. I just want to get this weight card because I feel like it needs to be part of the deck as we're shuffling for your question. So what does Pamela need to know about going back to school in the fall? I'm hearing 3, 2, 1, which is like ready, set, go. So like you're ready. We've got the protection card that's coming up here. So you, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. So again, like this really kind of reaffirms for me those day-to-day, but also important things that we want to make sure are taken care of and that they're handled. And basically what this card is saying is like, yeah, we understand that there are things that you're worried about and you're concerned about, and we're going to be here. We're going to help you and support you with that. So ask for help and support, and depending on what your belief system is, that can be talking with God, source, universe, angels, ascended masters, whoever, whatever you like to work with. But also on a practical level too, if we need help with work, with scheduling, if we need help with people that you're responsible for, if we need help to make sure that you have time, whatever it is, ask for help and support, because it feels like it's plentiful and readily available. You just need to ask. Oh, we just had one more card fall out. So I'm going to include that as well. And the card is a new dawn. The worst is now behind you and positive new experiences are on the horizon. Again, that's also a card that's really indicative that, hey, it's time to start moving forward. There are new opportunities that are available to you, and it's okay. It is safe to do it. Pamela, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for coming on. And I hope you pop back and let us know how your courses and classes are going, because it feels like it's pretty exciting. Awesome. Tracy, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Tracy says, I will be applying for a loan to try and purchase a property. Oh, awesome. Any chance this will go through and if this is the right property for me? So first of all, congratulations. I'm so excited that you found a home that you're ready to invest in and that you're excited about. What do we have coming up with this? Yeah, so I feel like there's a checklist of things that need to be done. And what they're showing me is yep, 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 until we get to one more. So it feels like we've got 5 or 6 different things that need to be checked off. And there's one thing, and that's the thing that I feel like we need to have a bit more research around. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of property it is that you are looking at, but it feels like there's something that's kind of interesting about it. So either it's interesting in terms of how you want to use it, or it's interesting in terms of its location. So for example, if you were looking at a property that was going to be both residential and commercial in some form or other, the type of commercial feels like there could be a bit of question around it. So in order to get the loan, it feels like there might be a little bit of background work that you're needing to do beforehand to make sure that licensing and permits or whatever is required to make sure that you fall into that. That feels like that's the only kind of caveat that's coming up with it. In terms of is this the right property for you? I get a yes. I've got butterflies in my tummy. And these feel like they're the nervous butterflies. But they aren't the holy smokes, don't go there butterflies. They're not the ones that are saying like, full stop, don't do this. This is not the right thing. That's not what's coming up. This is the nervousness. So I do want to say it does feel like it's a great property for you. It feels like it can be what you're wanting to create for yourself. I'm also hearing that there are other options that will become available to you over the next several months as well. So if something isn't feeling right that I'm not picking up on, that you're like, I just don't know. Or if something happens and you're not able to get the financing for it, don't worry, because there is something else that's coming up. That said, it does feel like this is a really solid property, and it feels like you're able to experience the things that you want to do and experience on the property. So it does feel like it's a good option and a good choice. Whoops. And here's the card that we had popping out for you. I have to laugh because it jumped out kind of like a dolphin. The card that we have is the synchronicity card. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. So I feel like this is confirmation, especially if you became aware of the property in some sort of synchronistic way. So synchronicity, I like to make sure that we explain these terms because people sometimes throw them around and don't necessarily know them. Synchronicity is when something happens outside of yourself that you don't have any control over, that speaks to you, that has message and that has meaning. That is what synchronicity is. So if there were a couple of dances and a couple of things and one thing and next thing and next thing and next thing and boom, it's there. That would be an example of synchronicity. It'd be a poor example of synchronicity, but that's the general how it is. So pay attention to synchronistic events around the property, either ones that have already happened that have brought you to it, or ones that are coming to fruition over the next little while as you're making the application for the loan and looking at the property. But the synchronicity is going to be what says, yes, we're on the right track. We're heading in the right direction. Tracy, I'm so incredibly excited for you. I hope you'll come back and let us know how this all goes. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Thanks for joining us. All right, Tatiana, hello. It's so good to see you. Okay, so Tatiana is saying job security. Board members are shifting. One is being a little unreasonable, and I know there's a divide in ideas of direction for the park. I'm trying to develop some some professional boundaries. Okay, let's take a look and see what we've got going on. Um, I do see that there is job security that is there for you. The question feels like it has more to do with what your job is going to look like, because it feels like that's where the potential for shifting is kind of coming in. So I feel like I want to come up with a proposal. Um, for the work that you're doing, for the work that you could do, for improvements that you could make. And it feels like that's how um, you're receiving or how you're getting that job stability. It also feels like it's giving you a contract that you're able to work with and that you're able to renew on a regular and a consistent basis. In terms of the board members and shifting, I do see what you're saying in terms of how did you put it? Oh yes, one is being a little a little unreasonable, but I'm seeing that balance, it's being balanced out by other energy. So it feels like there's one, but I see that it's being counterbalanced by other people. And it's kind of like if you had a teeter-totter and there was one person on one side and you've got like five people on the other side, and that one person is just kind of up there. It doesn't feel like they have enough to pull it back into balance or to pull it down. So that says to me that you've got other people who are either wanting to maintain or wanting to go in new directions similar to what you're proposing. But it does feel like there is opportunity to propose some ideas that will also help to support the park. And I'm seeing that there's something that's coming up around revenue generation with it as well, which feels like it makes it a no-brainer. That's kind of what I'm hearing, is that what is being presented is a no-brainer. Like, why would we not do this? It would be silly of us not to go in this direction. And it feels like that's how you're getting the majority of the board to kind of see what you're saying, because it feels like the majority of them already do. So I feel like this is a little bit of a blip, but that there is job security and stability for you. We're working with the mermaids and dolphins tonight, so we're just going to ask, what does Tatiana need to know about job security at the park? So we have the let yourself receive card. Um, Allow others to give you loving care. Receive without guilt or apologies. So, it's really interesting because there's an aspect of this card that actually kind of goes against what I just said. So, part of what I was seeing and feeling was that there was a lot of active work that you were doing to make sure that there was job security and stability. But what this card is actually saying is, hey, like, you've already laid a lot of the groundwork and the foundation, and now it's time to allow yourself to receive. So, like, yeah, touch base with people and say, hey, I've got some interesting ideas, but you don't have to come up with a whole proposal for it to come together at this point. It feels like your reputation, the work that you've done in the past, is enough to hold what you are doing. So allow yourself to receive and don't worry about what is coming, because it feels like you already have the support that you need, and it's not something that you need to fight about. So just keep breathing and make sure your priorities are focused on the things that are truly important to you long term. Tatiana, it's always such a pleasure connecting with you. I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big bugs. No, big hugs. Lots of love and lots of support your way. Awesome. Stephen, hello. It's so good to see you. What is a surprise vision that you see for me? What I mean um, is there should be something completely different than what I used to ask about. Okay, all right. So, okay. Stephen, we don't usually do questions like this, but because you've asked in such an interesting way, what is a surprise vision for you? Um, What do we have? Actually, you know what? I'm wanting to talk to you about something that's happening in your body. So, usually when Stephen pops on, we're talking about money and business and growth and sometimes about romance. Not recently, though. But I've got stuff that's coming up in your physical body that feels like it's needing to be addressed. Specifically, I've got stuff that's coming up in through like my lower body. I feel like this is kind of like hip, low back kind of area. Like if you were to put your hands behind your back and they just kind of, sorry, you can't really see like this, wherever you'd put your hands with your arms like that is exactly where I'm seeing. Um, and actually, I've got lots of kind of tension and pain that's coming up. I want to encourage you to focus on the structure of your body right now because it is the foundation of everything that you're building. So make sure that you're taking care of it and taking care of yourself. There's some strengthening that's kind of popping up, some stretch that's popping up. So I want to encourage you to take a look at like physio or other things kind of along those lines and make sure that your body has the support that it needs because if your body isn't supported then none of the rest of the things that you're working on are supported. So that is the vision that I have for you that's outside of the usual. And the card that we have, that's beautiful. We have a hello from heaven card, and this is Archangel Azrael. Azrael's message is your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. And we haven't really talked about loved ones on the other side. So, yes, this is deceased loved ones on the other side, but it's also overall messages from heaven saying, hey, like we see you, we're helping you, we're supporting you. Slow down and take care of yourself. I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening, Stephen. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and lots of encouragement to make sure that you're taking care of your body. Pat, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Pat's asking, will I be able to accomplish my goal in the next 3 months? I have been trying for months, but it's one step forward, two steps backwards. What is preventing my successful completion of this goal? Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes, you will. So part of the one step forward, two steps back is it feels like I feel like you're repeating the same thing kind of over and over again. And it's like doing the same thing, expecting a new result, but getting the same result. And I feel like there's something that needs to be tweaked. And that as soon as that tweak happens, everything starts to fall into place. Because it doesn't have to do like it's not a lack of work, it's not a lack of trying on your part, it's not a lack of creativity on your part. So like you're doing everything that you need to. What else can I give you in terms of how to move forward through this? I mean, take your time, but you're already taking your time. Don't try to rush. And it feels like you're setting a pretty good pace. Um, but but also slow it down as well. There isn't any need to rush. There isn't any need to push and force. And although you've asked for like a bit of a timeline in the next 3 months, that feels like that's a really realistic timeline. And in fact, it would be a push to do it, but I feel like you could do this in 2 months. But I want to encourage you to do it in 3 or possibly even 3.5 months because it is coming together and trying to push and force it faster is what will keep pushing you down, pushing you back. So you're on the right track with what you're doing, with what you're building, and how you're approaching it. Let's just see what messages are coming up for you, Pat. So we're connecting with the Archangel Oracle card deck. And just what does Pat need to know about accomplishing her goal over the next 3 months? The card that pops out is the Breathe card. This is Archangel Raphael. So take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. So I love the releasing old patterns because the one step forward, two step back is becoming a pattern. So let's release that pattern. But also if what you're focusing on, if the goal that you have is anything that is health related, specifically physical health, this is also a wonderful card to come up because Archangel Raphael helps and supports us with our physical healing and our physical body. Also, if there are any limitations that you're coming up against from a physical perspective, Archangel Raphael can help and support us with that as well. So slow and steady wins the race. Make sure that you're breathing as you're going through this. And as soon as you start to experience a bit of frustration with it, that's how you know it's time to take a step back, because it feels like part of what you're doing is you're starting to shift from this is frustrating, I am frustrated, I am ticked off, into this is easy. I can do this. This doesn't need to challenge me. So I'm going to do a little bit. And then as soon as it starts to feel like it's a challenge, I'm going to back off. And then I'm going to do a little bit more. And as soon as it starts to feel like it's a challenge, I'm going to back off. The slower steps, the smaller steps are the ones that are going to bring this to fruition for you. So give yourself a break and offer yourself some grace because you're doing a kick-ass job. Pat, I'm so grateful that you joined us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. And I mean, Archangel Raphael is already helping and supporting you, but any beings of love and light that would help you to achieve this goal, I'm asking them to come and help you and support you through this because it's time and you're ready and you've got this. Awesome. Maxine, hello. It's so good to see you. And oh, darn. I don't know what it was that Maxine was referring to. That is a beautiful way to think of things. The angels have the power to help and move you in the right direction. Yes, absolutely. Now I know what you were talking about. This is in reference to having conversation with the angels and just telling them everything that's problematic because they can help and they can help in a bigger way. It's kind of like spending all of your time with, I don't like to think about complaints, but let's say you have a complaint about something that a company is doing and talking to the frontline person instead of going to the top dog. Like, stop talking to the frontline person. They can't do anything. Talk to the top dogs. A lib. Charlie is my best friend. And I don't know if you saw it, but Charlie was here on my computer. That's the cat from next door. She actually was visiting members of my household the other night and jumped up on their bed at midnight. So Charlie's a little bit of a devil. Drew, my friend, oh, I'm so glad that you're here, but ask a specific question. I would absolutely love to see what's coming up for you. Jody, hello. It's so good to see you. Jody says, greetings, sweet soul sister. May I ask you to ask our angels, where are my services in spiritual leadership most of service? Vancouver Island or Ontario? Oh, thank you. Big love. Ancient Brown. Oh, I love that. Ancient Brown Bear Child, Jody. Okay, let's take a look and see where you are being called. The word that I'm hearing is bicoastal. And so I'm feeling a draw to both places. When I ask about Vancouver Island, I see that there's a place where you are able to fit in easily, where you are welcomed easily, where what you have to offer is graciously and gratefully accepted. When I check in Ontario, I do feel like there is a place for you to work, to do what you do. And I do feel that there's an openness to you being there as well. And I want to say that they need you more. Yeah, they need you more. The path feels like it's, on the one hand, it may not be quite as easy, but on the other hand, it feels like it is where you are able to do your best work. I keep hearing bicoastal though. So like there isn't one place. It feels like you're connecting with both. So this may be in the form of travel that you're going and you're traveling. So either your home base is on Vancouver Island and you do your work here, but you're also traveling back to Ontario, or it could be in the reverse. It feels like both places benefit from the work that you do. And I feel like the call is to Ontario, but because of, it feels like there's a little bit of challenge with getting in there. And it's almost like coming back to Vancouver Island fills you up to be able to continue to do your work. What else is coming up for you, Jody? I'm seeing dreams coming up as well. So over the next week, I want to encourage you to, again, like connect with this beautiful energy that we are in right now, and set the intention that before you go to sleep, or pardon me, set the intention before you go to sleep that while you're asleep in your dream time, that awareness of where you need to be, it comes to the forefront for you, because it feels like it's well within the gifts that you have, and it feels like it's also it creates a form of confirmation. I'm I'm seeing both places benefit, and it feels like you're in both places. um yeah, let's see if we get some more information. So I'm going to pull two cards. We're going to pull one card for Vancouver Island, and we're going to pull one card for Ontario. So what does Jody need to know about offering her spiritual services on Vancouver Island? And what does Jody need to know about offering services in Ontario? So I'm going to do the Ontario one first. The card that we have here is the rest card. You've been working hard, take a nap and get some rest. And that actually makes a lot of sense, because when I connect with the energy in Ontario, it feels like there's a fair amount of push pull. So I see why rest is coming up, because it does feel like you're going to need to do a bit more to rejuvenate yourself, to support yourself, to make sure that you have the energy and the resources that you need to do the work at the level that you're doing it in Ontario. Let's see what came up for Vancouver Island. This is an interesting card. It's the Father Healing card, and I have to admit, I wasn't expecting this one. Your personal power increases as you give any father-related issues to heaven. So this also says to me, that there could be some healing work, and that's part of the reason that that I'm feeling a draw, and that I'm feeling an ease in Vancouver Island, because there's healing work for you to do for yourself that's here. And this could also be why we're getting that bi-coastal message, where the work that you do in Ontario, and then coming to Vancouver Island is part of where you get the peace, the healing, to go in and to do more work. So there is this back and forth feeling that you're getting. But man, I have to say, I'm seeing Ontario overall. It's just, it doesn't feel like it's a super easy path, but it feels like that's the direction. Let me just pull one more card for you. The consultant expert card. So in this situation, the experts that are coming up are God, source, universe, angels, ascended masters, spirit guides, whoever, whatever you work with. That is where that's where that's coming in. So I'm seeing Ontario, but do a check-in with your guides and see what's popping up for them, because I mean, we know that you'll have the support and the resources that you need to do the work that you do at the level and the capacity that you do. It's just a matter of asking for that help and support. So it could be that they're asking you to start that conversation now. My friend, I am so incredibly grateful that you hopped on and joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Oh, thanks, Margaret. Margaret gave Drew the message. Awesome. I'm just going to do a really quick look here. Okay, so because Drew has been in and out a couple times, what can I expect in the next 1 to 2 months with regards to my business, income increasing, pop-ups taking off? Okay. Oh, and also I see Ishika here laughing at Charlie. Oh my gosh, right? Okay, let's take a look, Drew. What do we have coming up for your business? Pop-up, yes. I feel um do you do you know the, oh, what the heck? I see this so often. It's the carnival game, and the the not rabbit, but the thing, the mole, the whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole is popping up. As soon as I ask about pop-up, it's like, "Oh, I'm over here. Nope, I'm over here. Nope, I'm over here." So, what I want to say is it feels like there's expansion because I'm feeling like there's one place that it feels like you're working with already, but I'm seeing that there are a couple of other places that you're going to be incorporating, that you're going to be including in this pop-up, and that's part of where growth is literally popping up and coming in. When I ask about business and income increasing specifically over the next little while, yes, it feels like each month it feels like we have a new level that you're reaching. And so part of that almost feels like it's some sort of subscription or membership. I'm not exactly sure what that is and what that looks like in terms of the context of the business that you're developing, but it feels like every month I have guaranteed income that I can rely on, that I'm expecting. So that tells me that there's probably an offering that you have, that is something that people are subscribing to. It's something that you're able to do easily, that they're able to receive easily, that kind of keeps things rolling. And so this is part of what's giving you that balance, that base. And then each month it feels like not only is that increasing and expanding, but also we've got increase and expansion that are happening with the offerings that you have, with the pop-ups that you have. So there is beautiful growth. And in fact, the trajectory looks and feels like we're on an upward swing and that things are happening and things are coming together. So yes, over the next couple of months, we've got some increase that's happening and they're showing me bricks and mortar as well. So it feels like there is at least one solid stationary place that you're going to be looking at working in on a fairly consistent basis. There is lots of growth that's happening in terms of the offering that you have. It feels like there's group offering. It feels like there's one-on-one or very small group offering. And there's also something, it's not mastermind. Is it master heart? Master soul? Oh, it's master soul, I think. Um, so I'm thinking about mastermind groups that businesses will use to support themselves. You've got a lot of different business people who gather together and everybody is working on their own goals and their own things. Only this isn't around business. It feels like it's around heart, it's around soul, it's around growth, it's around healing. And it feels like it's something that's a quote unquote commitment where people are coming and they're showing up on a regular basis. This feels like this is something that you're doing over like a 6 to 8 week period of time. And then it comes to a conclusion. And then there's another one. And it feels like there are lots of things that are being incorporated. And like we're getting together for 2 hours a week. And there's celebration and there's movement and it's beautiful. So yeah, there's a lot that's coming, there's a lot that's happening and a lot that you're working on and working towards. Okay, let's take a look and see what messages are coming up for Drew. Oh, we had two pop out, so we'll be quick. One is morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. So again, like we're already in the Lion's Gate portal. Well, I mean, like officially tomorrow, but we're in the energy right now. And this is saying like, hey, manifestation is important. It's significant. It's huge. Do it. The next card that we have, oh, I love this card. Whoops, hold on. Is the Blessed Change card. And actually, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I keep clicking my thing. The Blessed Change card. And I'm going to be posting this card in a moment. But with the Blessed Change, a major life change brings you great blessings. In this card, everything is kind of upside down. It feels like a little bit chaotic. But if you look at the mermaid herself, like she's smiling, she's not concerned, she's not worried about it. She's good. Even though she's upside down and things are feeling chaotic and a little bit messy, she's good because she knows everything's okay. This is what you're in right now. Drew, it's always such a pleasure connecting with you. I'm so grateful that you hopped on. Sending big hugs, lots of love, support, and abundance your way. But seriously, the master soul. I love it. Okay, where am I going next? Tennis, hello, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. Tennis says, I'm going to see my sister in the UK in a few weeks. Awesome. Is there anything that I need to know about this trip? Situations that may arise, something I should focus on while I'm there, opportunities? Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, let's see. Okay, so first of all, travel, they're showing me easy peasy. So, it feels like it's easy peasy because you are prepared. So, like, they're showing me like the neck pillow so that you can relax. And it feels like you're packing the things that you need for the travel, and travel is going to be easy peasy. It's not going to be a problem. While you're there, oh, Oh, I feel like there's some opportunity for some romance and some connection, and I'm kind of excited about that. Now I want to say like going to a cafe, but a pub may actually be more appropriate. So I want to encourage you to get out on your own sometimes as well. Like, I'm seeing you there with a book, a physical book, not a book on your phone or on your Kindle, but a physical book and something that you're interested in. And I'm going to say a handsome man, as opposed to a beautiful woman. Handsome man. I've got a very attractive man, who is approaching you and sitting down and wants to talk to you about more about what's happening. So, um, don't be afraid to hit up some bookstores while you're there. Like, you could certainly take a book with you, but don't be afraid to hit up a couple of bookstores with you while you're there, especially if they've got like secondhand used bookstores, and allow yourself to be led. It your trip is feeling pretty magical, and I'm pretty excited about the opportunities that are coming up. And it feels like it won't be the only trip that you're making to the UK to visit your sister and possibly other people as well. So that's exciting. Let's see what messages are coming up for you, Tanis. What is it that we need to focus on and be aware of with your UK trip that's coming up? Ready, set, go. When this card comes up, it says that things are starting to happen, and it's not like just slow little bits. It's full on. Let's do this. Now is the perfect moment to dive in and embrace your heart's desires. So just be ready. Be ready for adventure and excitement. The energy feels really different there in a positive way. And it feels like things really start to happen. So allow yourself, don't go in with expectation, but also kind of know that opportunity is present. Awesome, Tanis. I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love, and romance angels your way. Awesome. We have come to the end of our time together. I'm so sorry that we didn't get to everybody today, but I'm incredibly grateful that you hopped on to join me. It's always a pleasure connecting with you. I'm going to throw up, if I can, there we go, a couple of things here. So can I do two? No, it only lets me do one. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to mention, connection with intention, email invitations. I've just started this in the last couple of weeks. You can do this QR code doohickey thing here, or I've also posted it on my Facebook page and on my Instagram pages. I'm Heavenly Messenger on both of those platforms, and I'll pop something on YouTube as well. So with this, before I go live, I send out an email. It has the links to come and to join me. And I also include the picture that we use for the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. So it gives you a little bit of an insight in terms of what's happening, what's coming up, and just a really quick little email. It's nothing big. You can unsubscribe at any time. I really don't like email newsletters myself. My inbox is always full. So trust me, I will not over abuse your inbox and send you too much stuff. So if you want to receive the notification when I'm going to be going live, including the links to join us, sign up for the email newsletter. And then the other thing, ooh, that's kind of fun. Sorry. The little swirly do on that. That was fun. Okay. And then also, if you want to connect for your own personal reading, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but like that little image of that last card, the Blessed Change card that came up for Drew was the image that I put on here. If you'd like to connect for your own personal reading, hop over to my website, bookingwitherin.com. I was going to be offering a course on Saturday, so I blocked my day off for tomorrow for the 8/8 Lionsgate. 88 Lionsgate. And so now suddenly that day is completely open. So if you were thinking that you wanted to connect for a reading, tomorrow is a really great time to do it. There are, of course, other times throughout the month of August as well and into September. But yeah, tomorrow became available very suddenly, unexpectedly. So if you've been thinking about a reading, tomorrow might be the time. Bookingwitherin.com. And the very last thing, I'll put more information out over the next couple of days, but it is News for the Soul, Heavenly Messenger coming up this coming Tuesday, which is, I think, August the 9, 10, 11. I think it's August the 12th. And I'll be live at 2 p.m. Pacific, which is 5 p.m. Eastern on newsforthesoul.com. So pop over there. I take callers live. So we do this, only we talk to each other on the phone. So call in or join us for a little inspiration next Tuesday. And the following Tuesday evening, we will be back for Connection with Intention again. Excuse me. I am so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, lots of energy, manifestation, intuition, connection over the next couple of days with the height and the peak of the Lionsgate portal, the full moon, and of course the meteor showers in the following week as well. Sending big hugs and so much love your way.